Good evening and welcome to Premier League Live on the final of 3 nights of Premier League action here on LFS, and we wrap it up at Molineux, where Wolves welcome Manchester United in the 100th Premier League meeting between these two teams. The 100th top flight meeting between these two teams, may I say. Another game also underway, kicked off at 7:30 this evening at the London Stadium between West Ham United and Bournemouth, and Bournemouth are leading David Moyes' West Ham by a goal to nil. The big news from that game tonight is that Calvin Phillips, who joined West Ham United from Manchester City in this window, made his debut for West Ham tonight. But the bad news is, well, within 7 minutes, he gave the ball away, and Bournemouth went up the other end and scored. Dominic Solanke with the goal after just 3 minutes into the game. Not a very good start for Calvin Phillips, giving the ball away, and Solanke benefiting from that. And incredible for Dominic Solanke as well, who's in a very, very good form for Bournemouth at the moment. And the Cherries responding well from their last Premier League game, where they were well beaten by Liverpool at home. West Ham, on the other hand, well, it's not looking good for them either. I mean, no wins since the 28th of December. They've lost drawn their last 2 Premier League games, but haven't won in the FA Cup, having been beaten by Bristol City in the end in that tie after they went to a replay as well in that one. So not a good start to 2024 for West Ham, yet to get a win in this calendar year, and they are 1-0 down after 37 minutes at home against Bournemouth, who have the lead through Dominic Solanke. We'll keep up to date with that game, anything that happens, goals and drama with VAR, penalties, red cards, anything that happens from the London Stadium, we will update you just as West Ham had a shot on target there. One of their first of the night. It's been all Bournemouth, but back to our affair at Molineux. 8:15 kickoff between Wolves and Manchester United, the final game of match week 22, where it's been a big week and a week of big results as well. Arsenal came past Nottingham Forest on Tuesday night. They got a 2-goal lead before Forest made it a bit dangerous and a lot closer than Mikel Arteta and Gunners would have wanted after Taiwo Awoniyi's late goal, but it wasn't enough to rescue more than nothing out of that game for Nottingham Forest. A goalless draw at Craven Cottage between Fulham and Everton, over 40 shots between the two teams, but neither side could find the back of the net. Luton, on the other hand, well, they certainly found the back of the net and pretty with ease against Brighton, their biggest win of the season. In contrast, the reverse fixture this season, Brighton won by 4-1 at the Amex, while Luton got their revenge, and quite convincingly so. Got that 4-0 win over Brighton on Tuesday night. Crystal Palace had to come from behind twice in that game against Sheffield United, who led 1-0 and 2-1 before Crystal Palace levelled it for a second time through Barry Eze's second goal, before Michael Olise scored the winner to give Palace the 3 points at Sellers Park. And they've made a big signing this afternoon on deadline day, signing Wharton from Blackburn, Adam Wharton, for £22 million. Crystal Palace, so Steve Parish spending the big bucks on deadline day. Big shock defeat in our key game on Tuesday night as well, between Villa and Newcastle at Villa Park. Villa's first defeat of the season at home at the hands of struggling Newcastle, but they moved themselves up to 7th on Tuesday night. Last night we saw some very good games at various different stadiums, at the Etihad, at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, and at Anfield, where all 3 home teams got big wins against, very different teams indeed. Manchester City against their old captain and Vincent Kompany and Burnley. Well, they eased to a 3-goal lead before a late consolation from Alda Keel got Burnley on the score sheet. Tottenham, well, trailed against Brentford in that London derby, were 1-0 down, but Tottenham came back and ended up winning that game by 3-2. And it was no doubt where the points were going at Anfield last night. Liverpool electric against Chelsea as in our key game, where they stormed the way through the London Blues and left them red-faced last night. 4-1 winners were Liverpool, the league leaders. So, 8 games already this weekend, 1 currently underway where Bournemouth are beating West Ham, and 1 more still to come where Wolves welcome Manchester United. 2 sides, well, Manchester United not in the position they want to be. Wolves, well, they were pipped for relegation at the start of the season when this reverse fixture happened on the opening weekend of the season. But a close game between these two sides at Old Trafford sets up an interesting affair at Molineux. Kickoff is on the way in just a moment. Do stay with us. Welcome back to Premier League Live, a couple of minutes away from kickoff at Molineux, where Wolves welcome Manchester United in our final key game of this match with game week 22 in the Premier League. Let's get the team news then from this game. We start with the home side, Wolves, with Jose Sa starting in goal. They've gone for a back five tonight, Gary O'Neill, with Nelson Semedo, the captain Max Kilman, who has played all the minutes that he could this season, a maximum amount of minutes, only one of three outfield players in the Premier League to do that this season. Craig Dawson, Totti Gomez and Matt Doherty make up the back five. Mario Lemina and Tommy Doyle in midfield, with an attacking three of Mateus Cunha, Pedro Neto and Jean-Rickner Bellegarde for Wolves. On the bench for them tonight is Bentley, Ike Nuri, Bueno, Santiago Bueno and Hugo Bueno, Pablo Sarabia, Joe Hodge, João Gomez, Tawanda Shirewa and Nathan Fraser. For Manchester United, and big news for them, two players returning to the side, various different reasons, but both back in the team. Andre Onana starts in goal for Manchester United after returning from the African Cup of Nations after Cameroon were knocked out of the competition. A back four of Diogo Dalot, Rafael Varane, Lisandro Martinez and Luke Shaw in defence. Casemiro, Kobe Mainu and Bruno Fernandes, the captain, start up in midfield, with a front three of Alejandro Garnacho, Rasmus Hojlund and the returning Marcus Rashford, who was not involved at the weekend on Monday night when they went away to Newport County because of, well, disciplinary issues, according to Eric Ten Hag, but I mean, he didn't show up at training. Anyway, on the bench for Manchester United tonight, Alta Bayindir, Johnny Evans, Kambwala, Maguire, Anthony Forson, Diallo, Ericsson and Scott McTominay. Could it be Man United's strongest 11? And can they do the double over Wolves? Or will Wolves get revenge from what they felt was an injustice at Old Trafford on the opening weekend of this season? We are about to find out as they're about to get underway at Molineux. Wolves, of course, in their traditional gold shirts and black shorts, and Manchester United in all white this evening in that similar kit, the same kit that we wore against Newport County in the FA Cup. So we're underway. Manchester United get us going in this one. And another game where Manchester United need to perform to their top level. This is a stadium that, and a team that have caused some big upsets in this ground this season against big teams. You know, Wolves downcast, favourites to be one of the relegation battlers this season. But they have done an incredible job under Gary O'Neill this campaign. What he's delivered for this team has been nothing short of remarkable, really. From where they were pipped at the start of the season and a lot of people's predictions to be relegated, but reside quite comfortably in mid-table at this moment, only a point behind Chelsea. Could go above Chelsea if they win this evening, and could, funnily enough, find themselves very, very close, if not above Manchester United, when the night is out, if they win this evening, Wolves, which would be a huge kind of measure of their success this season. We will see if they can do that this season. But I was mentioning, Wolves have caused a lot of big teams trouble this season on this stadium, on this ground, as they were trying to press down the right-hand side there. Manchester United well cut out by Totti, and then the follow-up there by Matt Doherty against Garnacho sees it out for a Manchester United throw-in. Most recognisably, of course, Wolves at home this season face some very big sides and a very good record at home. There are only 2 Premier League defeats at home this season. That came in their very first 2 home games of the season against Brighton and against Liverpool, losing by 4-1 and 3-1 on those occasions. They are unbeaten in their last 9 games in all competitions, 8 games in the Premier League at home, with 5 wins and 3 draws in that time, including wins against Manchester City, Tottenham, Chelsea, Everton, and drawing against Aston Villa and Newcastle in there as well. So some big results for Wolves on this ground over the last few months, as they get a free kick there, and Casemiro goes sliding in, and within a couple of minutes gets the first booking of the evening. It's almost kind of written in the stars that Casemiro gets bookings every time he plays, and he puts in challenges like that, comes flying in, takes his own man out as well, and Luke Shaw. Casemiro, really poor challenge that. It's a yellow card and a free kick to Wolverhampton Wanderers early on here. Manchester United have struggled on the road this season in terms of their ability to kind of deal with tough away grounds. Manchester United losing more games away from home than they've won this season. 4 wins, 5 defeats on the road this campaign. Only scored a single-digit number of goals. Only one team in the Premier League have scored less away from home, and that is Sheffield United with 7 goals. Manchester United on 9, level with Fulham. So it's quite dreadful, considering in terms of Manchester United's away form this campaign. It's pretty much embarrassing, really, but that's a poor ball by Jose Sa, straight out of play, and Manchester United will get the throw in. So an early throw in for Manchester United here. That free kick from Wolves came to absolutely nothing in the end. Free kicks taken, or the throw-ins taken, sorry. Martinez, Shaw, finds Casemiro, finds Dalot in the middle. Now Garnacho. Dalot on the overlap down the right. Garnacho keeps the ball, finds Dalot. Dalot with the ball in, feints its way through. Hojlund cuts it back for Rashford. What a way to return to the Manchester United team. Completely not involved in the FA Cup, and he comes straight back into the team tonight and making an impact within a couple of minutes. And Marcus Rashford has proved the doubters wrong. 1-0 to Manchester United, and with the first big chance of the game, Marcus Rashford finds the back of the net. Really good from Garnacho and Dalot down the right hand side. Nice drifted ball right across the box, and Hojlund just takes it around the defender, cuts it back for Rashford on the edge of the box, and he just opens his his gate there, right footed, in step into the far right corner. Really good finish, and gets a celebration from his manager on the sidelines. And there you are. That's a mentality that Manchester United need to show, and Marcus Rashford has shown up here at Molineux tonight and given Manchester United a very early lead, and he took it beautifully. And that is, that's what I'm sure Erik ten Hag and the Manchester United fans have been wanting from Marcus Rashford. They want someone that can step up, and he's a local boy, a boyhood Manchester United fan, grown up around the club. He's been come through the academy and been a real successful kind of product of that Manchester United academy over the last 15 years. And an incredible start to his career. It's gone a bit, stumbled a bit, but last season he really reignited his form, scoring 30 goals. Struggled this season to kind of back that up, but what a way to re-announce yourself back into this Manchester United fold and prove that you're committed and prove that you've got the quality and the mentality to bounce back from setbacks and big challenges to come your way. Fantastic from Marcus Rashford. And now it's about what response will Wolves give to that goal. Sure, an early lead is one of their worst nightmare to give to Manchester United. But Wolves will know that still very early in the game, only 7 minutes gone, and it's only one goal, and they're at home. I don't think their game plan will change one bit. They will keep sticking to what their initial plan was tonight. Here's Craig Dawson. Back to Kilman. Doyle. Trying to carry the ball forward. Right, Bellegarde back to Tommy Doyle and gives it out to the left-hand side to Cunha, who uses his pace well. Tries to deliver it through for Bellegarde, who'd made the run, but well cut out there by Manchester United. Lovely ball by Rashford. Here comes Hojlund charging through. Goes down. Wanted a free kick, Rasmus Hojlund, but referee Jared Gillett waved it away and said no foul. And Semedo carried it down the right-hand side. Here's Neto. Pedro Neto. Trying to play it into midfield. It just away from Casemiro as Tommy Doyle picks it up for Wolves. Neto. Tight spaces. Doyle. Now out to the left-hand side is Doherty. Feints it into the box. And Pedro Neto has a few in contest, and Diogo Dalot and Lisandro Martinez, and they win a goal kick to Manchester United. Strong defending there. Neto going to be a real tough customer for defenders on occasions. I think I could have a hint of a corner there. Nonetheless, the goal kick's been given, and Gary O'Neill intently looking at the iPad on the sidelines to figure out how he can change things for his side, but I mean, it's still early and there's very little. I mean, they've had very little of the ball, Wolves, so far. I mean, 93% possession for Manchester United, which is, I mean, unheard of, even the best of teams. So Wolves have really struggled to kind of get into the game in the first 10 minutes. You just get a foothold on the ball and keep it for a good while and build yourself into the game, grow into the game. The last thing you want is to be cast adrift by Manchester United early on and go even more than one goal down. Something they want to massively avoid. Just to inform you, half-time as well, between West Ham and Bournemouth. Bournemouth still leading at the London Stadium by a 1-0. Dominic Solanke, the goal scorer there for Bournemouth. Here comes Hojlund for Manchester United, down the right-hand side. Cuts it back for Molineux. Nice switch ball. Finds it to Fernandes. Gives it out to the left to Rashford. Rashford in again. Looking to cut it back for Fernandes, a bit wayward there. And Casemiro from distance. Drifted wide of the left post. Goal kick to Wolves. More of a scooped shot from Casemiro. Well, the big question will be for Manchester United, you know, the 1st of February, 3.5 months of the season to go, and the questions will be asking, what is their aim between now and the end of May? Not only what is their aim and where they want to be, but what's realistic for Manchester United this season. They're still in the FA Cup, of course. A route to the final would be perfect for them this season. I mean, they want to get to Wembley again. A tough ask, but still as much chance as anyone else in the competition. I mean, at the minute, prior to kickoff, before they took the lead in this game, they were 11 points off top four, 11 points off Tottenham in fourth, and even Aston Villa in fifth. There's a big gap between fifth and sixth, and Manchester United, with a win tonight, would go up to seventh, but would still be 8 points adrift of top four. Now, it's not insurmountable, that gap, with still another 16 games of the season to go after this. There's still a long way to go, but is it realistic for Manchester United to kind of conjure up that top four form in the latter stages of the season? Is it plausible that they get fit, keep players fit, and get that rhythm in the team, and start grinding out a few more results and picking up points where they should be picking them up, where they dropped them and didn't pick up points in the first half of the season? Would there be that kind of ability for Manchester United to make a race to the top four? Here comes Matheus Cunha, though, for Wolves, and the strike takes a deflection off Dalot, and good reactions from Andre Onana to get down right in front of him. It luckily fell for him. It was a good switch ball from the right hand side, and Cunha had a good bit of space in the left hand side. Dalot waiting for the player to cut inside. Cunha tries to go on the outside of him and try and flick it on with his right boot to try and find a teammate in there, and Dalot made the block and got it back to his goalkeeper pretty firmly there. Good defended by Diogo Dalot, but again, a threat again from Wolves. You can see, they've got very good quality players, Wolves, and the likes of Acuna and a Pedro Neto that can cause this Manchester United team problems, especially if they lack that pace in recovery defensively. There's an issue there for Bruno Fernandes, gone down with a bit of a collision. After a bit of a collision there, but I mean, the talk at the moment will be Marcus Rashford. All this talk over the last kind of 6-7 days about his commitment to the team, his commitment to the cause, about his professionalism, about what is his future at Manchester United. That's been questioned over the last few days, of course, as to if he's committed to the team. Not showing up on Friday for training last week, and kind of not committing himself. That would have been the question marks as to whether he is committed, and so far, from what we've seen from this game, very much so. And more often than not, it's about doing the talking on the pitch that counts, and that is crucial when it comes to top football clubs. And the top level of football, elite football, is all about your mentality and how you recover on the pitch. It's all well and good being a great player in training, but you have to be a great player on the pitch. And I mean, Marcus Rashford's given that. He's proven that time and time again, but it's all about constant consistency this season, and he will know it himself, and he knows his standards that he's created in previous seasons of the levels that he wants to reach. And I mean, even last season, we bring it back to that 30-goal season, Marcus Rashford knows his level, and knows he's got the ability to score big goals in big games for a big football club in Manchester United. It's just the consistency this season hasn't been there, and I mean, every player's allowed a bad season now and again, but if you want to be the elite, if you want to be the star man, the captain, the kind of player that everybody looks up to, because that is what he could be, you need to be consistent week in, week out. Here's Rashford, nice ball, finds Luke Shaw on the overlap there, good header away by Lamina, and then the follow-up from Casemiro is well over the bar and behind for a goal kick. It's a good threat again, Marcus Rashford down that left-hand side. It's good work between Shaw and Rashford. Shaw a bit further infield, gives it out to the left-hand flank for Rashford, and he just kind of sneaks around the outside of Rashford. No one marking him. The shot gets to the bar. It might have gone out of play, but it cuts it back, and good defending by Wolves. But Manchester United showing that threat and that link up down the left hand side. Rashford and Shaw, that's caused a lot of teams a lot of problems over the years. Over the last couple of years. I mean, there's a lot of problems about Manchester United, and we can talk for days upon days about everything that could be going wrong with Manchester United, but I mean, is that the time for it right now? Here's Neto. The ball's a bit heavy for Semedo. Still in the box. Semedo rescues it and gets a corner for Wolves. Shaw there to block it behind for the corner. And Pedro Neto apologising to his teammate for that heavy ball, because it was a very good area for Wolves. Good situation. Neto got it on the edge of the box, and Semedo was on the outside and totally unmarked. The ball had just been pinpoint perfectly weighted. It would have been a fantastic goal scoring opportunity, but they've still got the corner to come. Corner fizzed in from the from the right hand side. Dawson up to meet it, and then the flick on is into the hands of the United keeper Andre Onana in that goal to get a firm grip on it. Right. So 17.5 minutes gone in this one. Wolves 0, Manchester United 1. Marcus Rashford with the goal. The same scoreline at the London Stadium, where the visitors Bournemouth are leading West Ham United by a goal to 0. The second half is about to get underway. We'll see how Andoni Iraola's side deals with that, having won 6 of the last 10 games in the Premier League. West Ham yet to get a win in 2024. Another 45 minutes, and we'll keep up to date with everything that happens in that game. Here's Doherty for Wolves. Finds Tommy Doyle. Now across to Semedo. Neto. Coming in, Phil Pedro Neto. Gives it back to Tommy Doyle, and he goes back to Craig Dawson on the halfway line. Semedo. Trying to figure out Manchester United's career. It seems like, from what I can see, it is kind of a... Actually, I'll just wait on this Wolves move here, and it's well dealt with. Seems like they're trying to squeeze to a more of a 5 than a 4. It seems like Casemiro's dropping a bit deeper, and it's spreading the United players a bit better across the pitch, and able to kind of get bodies in the way and block it. Any chance of a Wolves ball, and there's the counter-attack for Manchester United, which they break. Here's Garnacho, bodies flying forward. Rashford on the other side. Garnacho, I don't even know what he was trying to do there. That wasn't a shot or a cross. It was kind of a hoof into the stand behind the goal. Really good move. Casemiro, really beautiful ball down the right-hand side. Garnacho exploits the space left by the Wolves defence. They committed extra bodies up, and Alejandro Garnacho, I mean, I don't even know what he was trying to do there. I don't think his manager knows either. Kind of not making his feelings known pretty visibly there. Erik ten Hag, hands on head. Here's Semedo. Maybe Wolves could be at threat of levelling this game very soon. They've grown into the game. As I said, they needed to get more of the ball, get into their rhythm. Cunha trying to lift one over the defence. Cleared away by United, but again, Wolves get back on the ball. Here's Doyle. Lemina down the right-hand side. Here's Semedo trying to work in field. Blocked off that time by Fernandez. Then Lemina's ball is dealt with by Dalot. And then Hojlund instantly pressed, and United back on under pressure. Doyle, Cunha through the lines, Bellegarde, Lemina. Now Cunha tries to catch out the keeper, but scoops it too close to Andre Onana. But that movement and that few moments of pressure that Wolves applied on the United defence gets an applause from their manager Gary O'Neill. That's exactly what Wolves can cause. You know, massive threat to Manchester United. They've got the raw talent and raw pace and pure quality in the team that can cause defence's issues. And they're not the most clinical of sides, but when they get their opportunities, they do look a real threat, Wolves. And so far they haven't really created any shots, clear shots at goal, but one thing is you can see there's a lot of positivity in their build-up play. And good threat. That's good from Dallo though. Finds Garnacho for United. Space opens up. Garnacho with a switch ball. Finds Rashford on the left. Rashford. Shaw with the overlap. Takes that option. Finds Luke Shaw. And the ball's in. Rasmus Hojlund getting ahead of Craig Dawson. Getting ahead of Jose Sa. And just pips it over the line. And doubles Manchester United's lead. Just as Wolves were growing into the game and looking more of a threat to the United defence, the Manchester United go up the other end and put Wolves in a very difficult position. Really, again, it comes down the right-hand side. Dallo linking up with Garnacho, and Dallo continues his run. It opens the space for Garnacho to find that crossfield pass to Rashford. Rashford knows that Luke Shaw's going to go on the overlap. He's done it multiple times, and Shaw this time doesn't cut it back, just delivers it right across the box, and his number 11, the striker, Rasmus Hojlund, is there. I don't know if it's an own goal, maybe. It might be a touch from Hojlund. It looked like he had the crucial touch in the end. It was bouncing in, but it might have been... Ooh. It's close, that. There was a lot of bodies in there. It's difficult to say who the final touch came off, but it's either Craig Dawson or Rasmus Hojlund. I mean, give the striker the benefit of the doubt for the moment. We'll see what the official kind of confirmation from the Premier League is, but and there'll be the dubious goals panel will be having a bit of a busy job so far there. But 2-0 to Manchester United, and exactly what Erik ten Hag would have wanted, exactly what all the Manchester United fans would have wanted coming into this one. A side that arguably is their strongest 11 at this minute in time, with the players they have kind of available to them. You know, they had to show a bit of positivity in it, what they can offer, and so far, I mean, they haven't been the most kind of ruthless in terms of that in recent weeks, but tonight, I mean, they've been most certainly ruthless. 2 shots on target and 2 goals, and that is the definition of clinical, taking your chances. Although Wolves give it away. Fernandes, nice spread of the ball, finds Rashford. That could be in again here, Manchester United. Here's Marcus Rashford. Rashford trying to work his way through, blocked off by Semedo, who done very well. Looked in a difficult position initially, Nelson Semedo, and he did really, really well to deny Marcus Rashford any chance at trying to get United even further ahead in this one. Good defending by the Wolves right wing back there, getting back into his role and getting into position to block off the United winger. Gary O'Neill really will have a bit of thinking to do now, considering the fact that his side have grown into the game, have been much better in the last kind of 10 minutes or so prior to that goal. They'd grown into the game and they looked more of a threat against Manchester United, and more often they were getting back on the ball, they were keeping pressure on the United defence, but not able to have a clear kind of firm chance at goal. And then they end up being punished at the other end. Fernandes, free kick. Nice free kick, and Casemiro with a header heads it wide. And that's another chance where they probably should have found the back of the net there, United. We've seen a couple of unique free kicks in the Premier League over the last week or so, and that one was another one. Bruno Fernandes, just you think he's going to whip the ball, and he just chips it over the Wolves defender. And Casemiro had made the run, And he was totally free, completely free header for him. And he just misses the target completely. And as Wolves come down the other end through Pedro Neto, it's Bruno Fernandes that is going to give away a free kick to Wolves. And Pedro Neto, the man fouled that time. Yeah, it's an optimistic lunge there from Bruno Fernandes, and nowhere near the ball. Took the player right in Pedro Neto, and Wolves will get a free kick in a good area, closer than Manchester United's free kick, much more central and much closer to the goal. He's a key figure for Manchester United, Bruno Fernandes. We'll talk more about his kind of impact in a few moments as well after this Wolves free kick. Can they get themselves back in this? It's Tommy Doyle and Pedro Neto standing over it. Jared Gillett just sorting out a few last minute issues with the wall before he lets them take this free kick. Wolves, the whistle goes. Tommy Doyle steps up, strikes it straight into the firm grip of Andre Onana there. Really good strike by the young man there. But too much curl probably on the ball. It was always heading right towards Andre Onana. Didn't even have to dive for it. He just literally kind of sidestepped and was got a simple grab on the ball. Initially a very good very good technique, but too much curl in the end on that ball. As United come down the other end, here's Fernandes, finds Garnacho. 3 in the box. Garnacho looking to find one of them, but Totti Gomez got in the way, and Manchester United will have a corner. Erik ten Hag making more notes. That wee notepad that he has. Writing down his shopping list probably. He's in a pretty content mood, I'm sure. Much happier mood than he's been in recent weeks in the Premier League. In all competitions, really. As the corner's taken short, Fernandes cuts it back to Molineux. Molineux in the box. Back to Fernandes. Fires it across. Edge of the box is Rashford trying to work an angle. Rashford cuts it back to Garnacho. He tries to run in. Again, Wolves firm in their 18-yard box. No space whatsoever there. United have to retreat all the way back to Onana. He gives it to Luke Shaw now. 29 minutes gone. Wolves 0, Manchester United 2, and the home side need a bit of reigniting. And it seems to be that, just as I spotted, Wolves started with Matt Doherty on the left and Nelson Semedo on the right. They've now switched those positions. Now I don't know if that was just due to the corner or the fact that they have just switched them to try something different. I would say that would probably be the case. But while the ball is away from the defence for Wolves, they haven't switched back yet. Molineux tried the through ball. Took a deflection there. Hojlund could have run for that, but Wolves get the ball cleared away. Neto's header straight back into the possession of the visitors. Here's Hojlund coming deeper, finds Fernandes. His switch ball is a bit wayward and Tommy Doyle can intercept. Gives it back to Nelson Semedo, who's continued on that left hand side at the moment, but has no forward pass on and is blocked off there by Lisandro Martinez, and Manchester United will have a throw in on the right hand side. But I mean, from what we've seen, I don't think Manchester United have really been asked too many questions. I mean, Wolves can't say at half time, we've done everything we could. We've asked them everything we can of them in terms of defensively. They've struggled in carrying the ball and sustaining that kind of pressure. They did it for about 2 minutes, but other than that, they've really struggled to test the United defence. Jesus. Almost putting themselves under more pressure, Wolves, and making their own mistakes now. I mean, what is that? Garnacho picks it up, finds Fernandes, then Hojlund was almost in. I mean, Fernandes' ball is not good enough. Doherty then just side foots it with his right boot back to Jose Sa, and Hojlund continues his run. Sa wants to clear it first time, It hits off Hojlund and luckily for Wolves goes wide. Here's Fernandez. Tried to place it and completely placed it well wide. The game's gone much more frantic, and Man United probably can smell blood at the minute. Think maybe more they can get out of this first half before the interval. Just to let you know, there's a VAR check ongoing at the London Stadium where there's being a check for a possible penalty for a foul. Just see the play. It's West Ham coming forward down the right hand side, and then there's a challenge committed in the box, and the referee's being called to the monitor. So it looks like West Ham might have a penalty at the London Stadium. We'll keep you updated with that at the moment, but it is still 1-0 to Bournemouth. 60 minutes gone in that one, and West Ham might have a penalty. We will see, but the referee is being called to the screen, so we will find out in due course. Tim Robinson, the referee in that game, being called to the monitor, so keep a very close eye on happenings there. He's been called to the screen to review the initial decision, so what I'm guessing is the initial decision was no penalty, and he's being called to review that decision by VAR. In the meantime, Wolves coming forward, kept the ball alive. Here's Bellegarde. Doherty had to retreat though. Lamina. Now Doyle. Doyle with the ball in. Too deep, too close to Andre Onana. A simple catch for the Manchester United keeper. The referee still reviewing this decision. The monitor at the London Stadium. And he's just left the screen as Manchester United come forward. Here's Rashford down the left-hand side. And the chance that he tried to find the ball into the box, Nelson Semedo blocked it. And it will be a corner to Manchester United. So, there's an issue here. See this again. Is that Mohamed Kudus, I think. It's Kudus down the right-hand side. It is, up against Lloyd Kelly. He makes the run into the box, and Lloyd Kelly trying to grip him down. And they both kind of fall to the floor in the process of that. And West Ham have a penalty. Ball into the box from United there. Wolves clear it. Garnacho with a follow-up. Bit of a deflection. Rafa Varane. And over the bar. So West Ham do have a penalty at the London Stadium. Back and forth. Trying to keep an eye on two games here. And they're both kind of dramatic at the wrong time. 2-0 to Manchester United there, and Rafa Varane's just put it over the bar. Chance for James Ward-Prowse to get West Ham back on level terms against Bournemouth. Without a win in 2024, West Ham United. Tim Robinson's whistle goes, and James Ward-Prowse finds the back of the net. The set-piece master has got another one. And this time West Ham are level against Bournemouth. 1-1 at the London Stadium. Mohamed Kudus massively involved in that one, in winning the penalty. And to be honest, it looks a bit soft, but I mean, I didn't see it in full kind of speed, so not too sure. But nonetheless, West Ham have been given a penalty, and they've scored the penalty, so it is 1-1. So game on at the London Stadium with about 28 minutes to go in that one. Still a long way to go, about 10 minutes of the first half to go here at the Molineux. And Manchester United coming close to a third. But here comes Mario Lamina for Wolves. Down the right-hand side, Rashford tracking back, almost catches him out there. And Mario Lamina. Lamina now finds Semedo, space on the right flank. Semedo with the ball in. Sandro Martinez with a header. Rashford with a follow-up. Kilman, though, gives it back to Semedo. As Wolves again try and keep the pressure on United. Here's Doyle. I mean, they can't let this scoreline get any worse before half-time, Wolves. That is a must. You know, Gary O'Neill, if he finds his side 3-0 down at half-time, you know, it's pretty much kind of impossible. I don't want to say, I mean, nothing's impossible with a whole half of football, but I mean, it's very unlikely that if Wolves find themselves 3-0 down, that Manchester United are going to falter that and Wolves are going to come back. It's very rare that happens. So Wolves need to either at least keep this at 2-0 and give them any sort of hope, maybe come out in the second half a bit faster, but they've still got another 9 minutes plus additional time in the first half to try and conjure up any sort of opportunities to kind of get themselves back into this game. But at the moment, Manchester United sitting comfortable. Doherty. Pedro Neto uses his skill but can't get past two players. Molineux tries to speed past a few Wolves players. Tommy Doyle intercepting this time, and here's Mario Lemina looking for options. Gives it wide to Neto on the left. Neto with the ball in. United taking no risk there with Martinez. His keeper was coming for it, but Martinez slid the ball out and behind for a Wolves corner on the left-hand side. Corner taken short. Neto working the angle. Back post. Was connection still alive? Bouncing ball, and United do get it eventually cleared by Rafael Varane and out for a Wolves throw, but pressure building. United high fives all round at the back there, but Wolves can start to feel a bit of momentum swing in their favour at the moment. Doyle. Neto. Looking for options, has to go back to Tommy Doyle. And Bellegarde, who's been very rarely in the game tonight. Cunha intercepted, good challenge by Casemiro. Had to make the challenge, had to make it firmly. Here's Hojlund, gives it off to Garnacho. Speed from United on the counter-attack. Garnacho had all the pace and the ability, but the pass was nowhere near where it needed to be. As United give it away again, and someone flung himself to the floor there, one of the players. No idea, but that's over. And then Cunha, too easily dispossessed there by Casemiro. Bit of end-to-end. Unnecessarily. But that's a couple of times. Manchester United, you know, I mean, is there a hint of Manchester United, or Wolves, sorry, playing into the hands of Manchester United? You know, I mean, it's well documented, the pace that Manchester United have on counter-attack. If Wolves are going to threaten Manchester United, they need to be wary of a counter-attack, because they're a big threat from counter-attacking opportunities. I mean, they've already shown them that this evening with the second ball coming from a counter-attacking opportunity. So there's a hint of Wolves kind of playing into the hands of Manchester. Not to diminish the Manchester United performance so far, because they have been much better than what we've seen recently of Manchester United, but they kind of can't help but think, I expected more of Wolves in this game. They've struggled to really garner any sort of proper test and save for Andre Onana yet. Any kind of worrying factor for the United defence, and I'm sure Gary O'Neill will want a lot more from his team in the second half. Not that they've been awful, but it's just not been what I expected from Wolves tonight. Manchester United have pretty much had it all their own way, really. I mean, it brings me back to that Newport game. I mean, very different games, very different oppositions, but kind of similar Manchester United team. Had it all their own way against Newport for a vast majority of that first half. They took a 2-goal lead and they were comfortable. But Newport started to put pressure on them, started to ask them more questions, and started to kind of figure out what Manchester United are doing and change their approach to stifle Manchester United and put more pressure on their defence. And it worked out that Newport got back into the game. Now, I mean, chalk and cheese, Newport and Wolves, I mean, totally different. And one, with the way they play, and two, the level of football that they're playing at. Newport of League 2, Wolves of the Premier League, of course, but the same still goes. Manchester United really haven't been massively tested in this first half. They haven't been put under much consistent pressure, and they haven't been kind of asked questions where Wolves could probably profit or benefit from. Positions where Wolves have kind of allowed them to have the comfort that they need, Manchester United. They need to make it a tough away game, a tough game for Manchester United, a really physical battle. So far, Wolves haven't done that. And I think that will be a disappointment for Gary O'Neill, I'm sure, because they made it a really physical game at Old Trafford. They played like they're the underdog. They're the team that everything is against them. Gary O'Neill was in that team a week at the start of the season and done a remarkable job at making them an incredible side at Old Trafford in early August. But so far in this game, it's just not what I've expected. But Manchester United, I mean, as I said, it's not to take away from Manchester United's performance, because they have been much better level and played at a much better level than they have in recent weeks. But that's a good move by Cunha, though. Bellegarde. Now Totti tried to put the ball in, and the ball actually cascaded off him last, and will be a goal kick to Manchester United. And again, seems to be every time Wolves come forward and Manchester United deal with it, every single defender is round one another, praising each other and getting behind each other. Maybe that's the kind of team spirit that Manchester United need at the moment. Fighting like dogs out there on the pitch. And I'm sure he's a very happy man so far, Erik ten Hag, with how his side have performed. Dalla winning the throw in there off Matt Doherty. Two minutes plus additional time to go in the first half. Wolves 0, Manchester United 2. Marcus Rashford and Rasmus Hojlund on the score sheet tonight for Manchester United. Hojlund scoring in his third for the third consecutive time in the Premier League for Manchester United. 3 goals in 3 games. Pretty impressive form, that. Here's Cunha. Down the left-hand side, and again, Manchester United get a lot of bodies back there. Garnacho helping out defensively. Varane coming across there as well. And Garnacho wins the free kick. Smart play. Gets no approval from the home crowd, but smart from Garnacho. Knew that Tommy Doyle was going to kind of put the challenge in. And he kind of bought that foul a bit. But he did well in doing so. And we'll also give you an update on Deadline Day. A couple of the information, the stories from Deadline Day, the big stories of the day. We'll talk through that at half-time, as well as analysing the first half here at Old Trafford. Plus keeping an eye on the other Premier League game between West Ham and Bournemouth at the London Stadium. So do stay with us for half-time on LFS in a few moments, as we enter the last 30 seconds of the first half. Here Molineux, as nice ball by Garnacho. Here's Hojlund, but the flag goes up against him, and he's in complete shock. He doesn't feel that he was offside, Rasmus Hojlund, but we'll see it again. Move down the left hand side, Garnacho in a lot of space, and Hojlund is, he's offside. Yeah, he just leans offside at the last second. Garnacho just maybe a split second quicker would have been onside, but he's just leaning offside, Rasmus Hojlund. Good decision by the assistant, but it is the correct decision, and offside is surely there. That had have been a fair goal. It would have been probably game over. 3-0 half time. I mean, as I said, the chances of Wolves coming back from 3-0 down are as slim could be. Darren Cann, the assistant on that right hand side that put the flag up. I mean, from the replay that I saw, it is pretty well confirmed. Well, VAR making sure that that's the correct decision. And Darren Cann. Unnecessary pressure, really. I mean, why are they taking so long? It's quite clear. We've seen the replay. And there we are. The decision after about 20-30 seconds of unnecessary waiting. I mean, you could see it on the first replay. It was offside. it was pretty conclusive. And VAR Paul Tierney had a good night last night. Paul Tierney at Anfield. I thought he done well, but maybe he's needs a bit of coffee to waken him up in the VAR booth tonight, because that was a pretty simple decision, really. The correct one by the assistant on the field. You have to trust the officials. Oh, that's a nasty collision there by Hojlund and Craig Dawson, and it's going to get a yellow card for the Wolves defender. It looked like just a collision more than anything, because Hojlund was just spinning at the speed. Yeah, that is true. You'll see the replay of it again. I initially thought that Craig Dawson had stood his ground, but he does step over and kind of literally create a brick wall for Rasmus Hojlund to run into, and it is a free kick. And a yellow card for the Wolves defender, Craig Dawson. So a yellow card for him this evening. The second player to be booked this evening alongside Casemiro. So one yellow card apiece for each team tonight. Here's Bruno Fernandes. Last 30 seconds of the 3 added minutes. Maybe a bit more with that VAR check. Fernandes with the ball in! And it's Casemiro! But the flag is up again. And Darren Kahn, the assistant that put the flag up a couple of minutes ago against Rasmus Hojlund, has put the flag up against Casemiro. Goodness me. He's never onside. 3 Man United players offside there. They all jumped the gun a bit. And Darren Kahn has had a busy end of this half, the assistant on that right-hand side. But I think he's got 2 decisions. Very tough decisions. Well correct. And Jared Gillett confirms that again. So United have had the ball in the back 4 times. And they've scored twice. And the 2 other times they've had it ruled out for offside. And rightfully so. Darren Kahn does well there. The assistant. Go back to the point. Trust the officials. They're trained. And the assistant has got that right on both occasions there. Very good officiating. And here come Wolves. Maybe one last hope for them to rescue a goal before the interval. They need to do it quickly. They've broken down again, and United trying to break on the counter. Hojlund. Lovely ball in behind for Fernandes. He's got Garnacho across. And what's he done there? What is that? From Bruno Fernandes. Completely telegraphs it right across, and Garnacho was in a fantastic space to just get this ball squared to him. So in a frantic end as Wolves give the ball away again. United throw in. I think we just need half time in this one, just to recompose ourselves. And there is the half time whistle from referee Jared Gillett. And United, pretty perfect first half for them, really. Not many negatives, if any, at all could be talked about Manchester United. 2 goals to the good at the half. Marcus Rashford back on the scene from a bit of controversy over the last couple of days. Back in the score sheet. And Rasmus Hojlund, it's 3 in his last 3 for him. A pretty perfect first half for Manchester United. Half-time analysis on the way next. Wolves 0, Manchester United 2. Welcome back to Premier League Live. Half-time at Molineux between Wolverhampton Wanderers and Manchester United. It is the visitors that are 2 goals to the good at the break. Marcus Rashford and Rasmus Hojlund with the goals to give Manchester United a 2-goal lead on the road. Look for their 5th away win of the season in 11 away games. And there are other Premier League action this evening. One other game to tell you about at the London Stadium between West Ham United and Bournemouth, and it is West Ham that have scored the latest goal. They're back on level terms from a James Ward-Prowse penalty, and Dominic Solanke took the lead for Bournemouth in the early minutes of the game after Calvin Phillips, on his debut for West Ham, gave the ball away, passing it back to his keeper, and didn't realise that Dominic Solanke was there. He picked it up, Solanke, and put Bournemouth ahead, and then James Ward-Prowse levelled it from a penalty. That is how that stands, with about 10 minutes or so to go, and both sides locked at 1-1 in that game. Pretty even game, really, when you look at the stats. Both have 8 shots in the game, 50-50 possession, more or less. Both sides have missed big chances as well. 2 big chances for each side, and they've both missed one of their 2 big chances. So pretty firmly even in that one between both West Ham and Bournemouth. Of course, this weekend is the repeat of the opening weekend of the season. And in this reverse fixture between Bournemouth and West Ham in August, it was a 1-1 draw on that day. Jared Bowen and Dominic Solanke, funnily enough, the goal scorers for the 2 teams on that day. West Ham had taken the lead in that one, and then Bournemouth had levelled it through Dominic Solanke. It's quite the reverse in this one, but still the same scoreline. 1-1 going into the final 10 minutes at the London Stadium. We will see if either side can emerge victorious on the night. Both very different places in the league. Bournemouth in 12th at the moment, and West Ham in 6th, and will want to solidify that 6th place. If they get a win tonight, they will be only just 5 points off top 5, which will be a massive achievement for West Ham in this stage of the season. So it is all level there. Plus here, of course, at Molineux, Wolves trailing 2-0 at the break by Manchester United, and a pretty fair result, a pretty fair reflection of that first half. The scoreline, basically, Manchester United, I mentioned it through the half, they haven't been asked many questions that they've struggled to really answer. Wolves' XG in that first half, 0.16. So that just goes to tell you that they haven't created many, if any, good clear-cut chances at goal. Manchester United have created 2 very good chances, and they've taken those chances when they have come their way this evening. Marcus Rashford with a lovely finish to put them 1 up, and then Rasmus Hojlund was there when he needed to be. A poacher's finish, that one, for the second, where he just put pressure on the goalkeeper and the central defender, made himself a bit of a nuisance, and the ball bundled its way into the back of the net. And at the moment, as it stands, he is being accredited to the final touch for the goal. So Rasmus Hojlund does get his 3rd goal in his last 3 appearances for Manchester United in the Premier League, having failed to score in his first 19 games in the Premier League. He has scored 3 in his last 3. Consistency, surely. You'd have to say a massive improvement from him. We'll talk more about the stats and the half-time analysis of that one in a few moments, but just to bring you up to date with, of course, it is transfer deadline day in England, and less than 2 hours of the window to go. Closes at 11 o'clock in the UK this evening. It is now 9:10, so less than 2 hours to go. Just some information to tell you, just come in the last few moments involving some Premier League sides. Newcastle United midfielder Isaac Hayden has joined Championship side QPR on loan for the remainder of the season. Big news for Rangers in Scotland, who have announced the signing of Oscar Cortez from Lens from France on loan until the end of the season, with an option to buy in the summer. Confirmation earlier this evening, Ian Poveda is undergoing a medical. The Leeds winger Ian Poveda undergoing a medical at Sheffield Wednesday this evening. News for Liverpool outgoings, that is. Liverpool's Billy Kemetsio has joined Blackburn Rovers on loan for the remainder of the season. The central defender joins Blackburn, one of the clubs that Liverpool love to send their youngsters to in recent years. Just looking for some other news. West Bromwich Albion have announced the loan signing of Mikey Johnston from Celtic till the end of the season, of course. There. Just trying to find some more information news. I mean, the big story of the day is Armando Broja's move, of course, in the Chelsea on the Chelsea bench last night when Chelsea were beaten by Liverpool 4-1 at Anfield. Was on the bench last night, didn't come on and wasn't involved in the game in the end, but now we know why, making that loan move to local rivals Fulham till the end of the season. A big move, a move that probably he needed, and probably in Fulham's aspect they needed. I mean, look at their result this week, failing to score at home this midweek against Everton. So that is a position that they need a player in, a centre forward. I mean, ironically, Chelsea need a centre forward, but clearly they don't feel that Armando Broja at this moment in time is the answer to their problems, and that's why they have sent him on loan to Fulham till the end of the season. But he could be, I mean, who knows, maybe Chelsea do feel that if he performs, he could be in the fold next season, or whether that will be kind of put him in the shop window, and maybe they could get a bit of money from him for in the summer. We will see. That is the big news, and just in the last hour and a half or so, Armando Broja had arrived at Motspur Park to finalise that loan move to Fulham this evening. So that was about an hour and a half ago there. This evening, to tell you about, so he arrived for a medical and to kind of finalise that whole deal before the end of the season. More news in terms of Premier League clubs. News this evening: Aston Villa's Bertrand Traore is expected to terminate his contract at Villa Park and complete a move to Villarreal. He's played just twice in the Premier League this season. Bertrand Traore, Villa signed him for £17 million in 2020, but making that move, it seems, to Villarreal at this moment in time. That is where we stand on the latest kind of big news. Of course, we heard earlier this evening that Crystal Palace have signed Adam Wharton for £22 million, and Palace fans a bit disenfranchised at how their side have been lacking in big signings over the last few years, last few windows, and Steve Parish responding by buying Adam Wharton from the Championship to the Premier League for around £22 million at Blackburn. He has joined to join South London's Crystal Palace. Right, so that is transfer deadline day. If anything else breaks, any big news involving any Premier League clubs or any big stories around the footballing world before we leave you tonight, we will be sure to bring it to you. But back to tonight's action. It is still Wolves 0 Manchester. Well, it is, of course, half time. Wolves 0 Manchester United 2, and still West Ham 1 Bournemouth 1. With about 3 minutes or so to go, plus the additional time at the London Stadium. Will either side be able to find a winner, or will they draw both league games this season 1-1? We will see. The final minutes of that game to come, and we'll take you if anything happens there. Let's just run you through the stats then before the second half gets underway at Molineux of the first half between Wolves and Manchester United, where Manchester United lead by 2-0. The possession, 55% to United, 45% for Wolves. 8 shots for the visitors to Wolves' 4. Both sides have had 2 shots on target. Both have had 2 corners in the game. Manchester United have had 2 big chances. They've missed one of those big chances. Of course, Casemiro's big chance that was hit wide. Man United have had 271 passes, the Wolves has 220. 85% accuracy from the home side, 87% accuracy from Manchester United. The XG is pretty conclusive, 0.97 for Manchester United, 0.16 for Wolves. So Manchester United, based on the chances they've created in the first half, should have at least 1 goal. Wolves not created enough to even have anywhere near enough for 1 goal. that shows the difference in the sides at the half. A win for Manchester United as it stands would put them up to 7th in the Premier League above Newcastle and Brighton and Chelsea. Wolves will stay in 11th with defeat. But if they manage to turn this around, which would be a big feat, if they do at this point, Wolves, they would go above Manchester United in the table. So still all to play for, but at half-time it is Wolves 0, Manchester United 2. The second half from Molineux and live commentary of that is on the way in just a couple of minutes. Do stay with us.
Catch me if I fall.
Welcome back to Premier League Live half-time at Molineux. It's Wolves 0, Manchester United 2 at the break. The second half on the way very, very shortly. Don't forget, more Premier League action for you this weekend. We have more action. 4 more games from the Premier League to come for you this weekend, including this one at lunchtime on Saturday as we get back underway. Match week 23 gets underway in very quick succession of this one on Saturday at lunchtime. 12:30 kickoff at Goodison Park as Mauricio Pochettino, or not Mauricio Pochettino, wrong club, Ange Postecoglou's Spurs head to Sean Dyche's Everton at lunchtime on Saturday afternoon. Completely wrong club, completely wrong decade there. Kickoff the second half at Molineux on the way in a moment. Welcome back to Premier League Live. A second half just coming up in a second as the players return to the pitch. Just to inform you then, the last few moments of the game at the London Stadium, 8 added minutes at the end of that one. Tim Robinson has added on the referee. They've played 2 of those, so another 6 minutes still to be played at the London Stadium. So we'll keep it if anything changes in that one. And it will be a feisty last couple of minutes in that one, as I've been watching in the last few moments. It's been a bit end to end in that one, so we'll keep an eye if anyone has any late goalmouth drama either side in that one. But here we're just getting the second half underway and ready to go, as Wolves have a big second half needed, a big second half performance needed if they're going to rescue anything out of this game in the second half. After that first half performance, they need to show something more. Just haven't shown enough quality up front in their kind of finishing off those attacking chances that they've got into good positions, but haven't been able to either find the final pass. They haven't found the striker Jean-Recner Bellegarde anywhere near enough in that first half. I mean, if I told you Bellegarde had 19 touches in that first half, I mean, it's not incredibly low. It's not Erling Haaland low levels where he's not involved in the game and shows up from nowhere, but it's not enough for Wolves. Here comes Garnacho though. Man United looking to make better there. Lead Fernandez, blocked by Craig Dawson. Really good block, but body on the line there from Craig Dawson to deny Manchester United an early An early goal in the second half. But Wolves again caught out on the break. The space in the wide areas, considering they're playing a back five, out of possession. The space down the wide areas is really quite concerning. How easy it is for Manchester United to find the wingers in Rashford and Garnacho. Here's Pedro Neto on the right flank for Wolves. And to give them something positive to laud at. Switch ball down the left. Now back to Tommy Doyle. Across to Craig Dawson as Wolves push up again. Now Kilman. Semedo the wide option. Kilman comes infield though to Neto. Back to Kilman. Now out wide to Semedo. Has to go back to Craig Dawson. As, again, you think that would have been the key point that Gary O'Neill would have made at half time, and something he would have wanted to change. There's an issue, free kick there. Martinez a bit late in his challenge. And Nelson Semedo, the man that was fouled. Yeah, it is just one of those ones where he knows he's not going to get the ball, Martinez, and just takes the player out there. It is a yellow card for the Manchester United defender. So that's another United player in the book of Jared Gillett this evening. Another one that has to watch himself. So another free kick for Wolves and an opportunity for them to whip a ball in and kind of test the United defence. They've struggled to do. Neto and Doyle, who've over it in the first half, one of those free kicks, quite a number of them. They're over this one again. And United have kind of set up their defensive line on the edge of the 18-yard box. As Jared Gillett tries to sort out a few issues there before the free kick is taken. He's now resolved that issue. Here's Neto, left-footed delivery, back post, headed on and off the line. Onana had committed himself, and the man who committed the foul to give Wolves the free kick, Martinez, cleared it off the line. And now they come forward again, but good from Kobbie Mainoo to break that apart. Well, goodness me, what a way to make up for your initial mistake, to allow Wolves a set piece. Keeper, absolutely nowhere to be seen. Andre Onana comes flying up to win the ball. Never going to win it. I mean, Wolves has so many bodies, and I don't even know who headed it towards goal. What I can tell you is that Lisandro Martinez was the man to clear it off the line and to deny a Wolves goal. Well, for the moment anyway. That's a bit impatient from Doherty. Gives it away to Dalot. Now Hojlund. Nice run infield from Rashford from the right hand side. Rashford cuts it back. No one in there to help him out. And Wolves rescue it away, but give away another throw in, I think. We'll see this again. The ball gets whipped in, and is it Dawson? Who's that? Is it Max Kilman? I need to see the number. But what? I mean, Onana comes flying out. Poor goalkeeping from Onana. Terrible decision making. Because it would have been a mistake on him if there was no one on the line to save it. Committed himself, nowhere to be seen. The Wolves man just towers above him. Gets the header firmly towards goal, and then Martinez, incredibly, kind of clears it off the line. Denies Wolves a chance, but that will give them more confidence. That is the positive kind of sight that they needed in this game. That they can threaten Manchester United. You know, yes, they've had a couple of shots, and they've had a couple of shots on target, but nothing really to kind of put the fear of God into Manchester United's defence. I mean, that will concern them. The goalkeeper's not really covered himself in glory in that position, but it'll give Wolves confidence that there is an opening to be seen, and if they can just get it right, get in the right areas, and create enough chances, they can breach this defence. It's not watertight, this Manchester United defence. Very far from that this season. Here comes Martinez. Fires it forward, finds Fernandes. Bodies running forward for United, but Fernandes wanted Rashford to make the infield run. Rashford stopped the run in field initially, he did, and Wolves recovered, but they've given it away again. Fernandez. Down the right is Garnacho. Back to Fernandez, he swaps out, gives it to Dallo. Cross to Molineux. Linking up with Fernandez. Now Hojlund, back to Fernandez again. I mean, Wolves again, allowing Manchester United as much time as they want. Not trying to kind of stop them at all. Nowhere near them. I mean, Wolves are winning the ball back on occasions because Manchester United are giving the ball away. Or it's the fact that they just aren't able to get anywhere near any United player at the moment, Wolves, and press them. Well, we've had a pretty quiet final 6 minutes in the game at the London Stadium, where it looked to be an awful debut for Calvin Phillips after a couple of minutes. Dominic Solanke profiting from his poor back pass to his keeper, Alphonse Areola, before West Ham get back on level terms in the second half. James Ward-Prowse converting from the spot to get West Ham back on level terms, and that is the way it ended. So 1 apiece between West Ham and Bournemouth, and West Ham stay in 6th, will not be overtaken by anyone tonight. 36 points from 22 games, 7 points off top 4 for West Ham. I would have to say, pretty positive for the Hammers. Andoni Iraola as well, getting his side now 8 points clear of the drop zone, with a game in hand as well on those teams below them. Positive. Pretty positive for both teams in the end. Manchester United have a free kick here on the right hand side. Just as I was talking about that final score from that London Stadium game, United have a free kick. Fernandez over it on the right hand side. Fernandez with a low delivery, cleared away at the front post as Wolves try and conjure up a counter attack. Here's Neto again. Poor Molineux there, intercepts with ease, and then Neto, bit of frustration, gives away the free kick, and United have another chance at a set piece. Well, Gary O'Neill has had enough, and he's going to take Matt Doherty off, and he's going to replace him with Ryan Ait-Nouri. Ait-Nouri has shown his power and abilities to cause a lot of defences a lot of trouble. I don't think Matt Doherty's really worked in that position so far tonight. I mean, he is a good player, Matt Doherty, of course, no doubts, but it's just, he's not been that explosive player. I mean, Nelson Semedo down the other end has offered an outlet from wing back. Matt Doherty's really struggled to offer that similar output. As United's free kick, Garnacho with a cross, and the header at the back post from Casemiro is firmly into the grip of Jose Sa. Initially it looked very threatening, but Sa covered himself in a lot of glory, although given away by Totti. Garnacho squares it. Hojlund, big save by Sa. Huge from the Wolves goalkeeper. They need to get themselves going here, Wolves, or they're going to be caught, kind of cast adrift very quickly. And here they come with Jean-Victor Bellegarde up against Martinez, battling with the United centre-back, but Martinez emerging the winner out of that battle. But Wolves will get the throw in. I mean, honestly, on the balance of play, Manchester United should be home and hosed by this point. The many chances and many opportunities they've created, goal scoring opportunities, either side of the half, they should be at least 4-0 up. The opportunities that they've created, and Wolves will be nowhere near in this game at all. And maybe that is just something positive for Wolves to kind of cling on to, the fact that they haven't conceded more than 2 goals, and they are still in this game despite probably not deserving to be. And Casemiro again giving away another foul. Has to watch himself. Lamina winning that free kick. Has to be careful. Casemiro with the only yellow card from the first half. From very early in this game, 2.5 minutes I think he's got the yellow card. Just saw a replay there of that Jose Sa save to deny Rasmus Hojlund his second of the night and United's third. And that really would have been game over if United had got a third in that position. But it's now a chance for Wolves to threaten at the other end. I mean, if they do get a goal now, Wolves, I mean, the game's certainly, it's game on. Wolves well back into it and anything can happen. But the sooner it stays at 2-0, you just feel that United are going to get a third and wrap this game up. Pedro Neto with a delivery. Cleared away in the box there, well defended by Manchester United. Here's Bellegarde. Right, Totti trying to find the ball in. Aït-Nouri has made the nice feinted run. Ball into the box, bit of a deflection. And somehow it's saved off the line again by Manchester United. I don't know if it was a definitive clearance from a United player or whether the ball just drifted away from the net, but goodness me, I didn't go in again for Wolves. They've come close twice in this second half. Here's Semedo. Maybe third time lucky. No, not from that position. They've given it away again. Here's Fernandez. Garnacho. And the power of the United counter-attack breaks down. Garnacho there. His ball broken apart. Semedo. Bit end-to-end at the moment. Lamina can't keep the ball. There's a Wolves player down. And Matheus Cunha was the man that was felt he was fouled. I don't know if the referee's given the free kick. See this again. Semedo, then Lamina. Yeah, it's a foul off the ball. Huh? Just seeing the chance of the Wolves goal, the Wolves big moment there. It's a shot, and it kind of bounces off the face of Andre Onana. So it was a definitive touch from a United player, but I don't think it was an intentional one from the United keeper. But I mean, they all count. Still a big save at both ends. But Wolves threatening more now. Big chance. Oh, just wide from Matheus Cunha. But they're starting to threaten more. I mean, the last time they started to threaten more at 1-0, United went up the other end and scored the second. So they need to watch themselves on the break as well. But at the moment, they're looking more threatening, Wolves. And I mean, if Wolves do find a way back into this game, United have only themselves to blame, really, because they should have kind of put this game to bed long ago, considering how Wolves have played. Defensively, they've been so easily exposed, so vulnerable, so open. So many spaces, considering, as I mentioned, playing a back five. I get that in possession they want to push up their wing backs and kind of move more to a back three, but when you're up against the ball, a flat back five, there should be no spaces for the opposition to kind of penetrate and exploit, because you should have the whole of the pitch covered. You have 5 men across the field, you should have it covered. But Wolves have looked so vulnerable on occasion, especially on the break. They've struggled in transition and getting players back into the shape. They've been more positive in the last few moments. Here's Pedro Neto, breaks down the right hand side, past Rashford, ball in, no one in there to meet it. But Lisandro Martinez, who fires it clear and out of danger. Seems like, as I mentioned previously, the momentum swinging slightly in the way of Wolves at the moment. They need to take that chance when it comes their way. If they don't, they will be cast adrift and they will be put to bed tonight. That's nice movement from Aït-Nouri, linking it all up with Bellegarde. Aït-Nouri, ball in again, cleared away by Casemiro this time. Garnacho trying to help United out of a tough spot, but referees allowed the game to go on as there was 2 challenges in there, 1 on each team. And I think the referee's given a free kick Manchester United's way in the end. It's Aït-Nouri that gets the challenge in on Garnacho, and then the follow-up is on Bellegarde, but I think United have been given the throw-in, actually, in that position. just some information I think I've just seen that Sheffield United have signed Mason Holgate on loan from Everton. So another big move between two Premier League clubs tonight. The first, Armando Broja moving from Chelsea to Fulham on loan. Sheffield United have signed Mason Holgate from Everton on loan until the end of the season. Deadline day moves happening in the final hour and a half of deadline day, of course, to see if there's any big bits of information, big drama. Oh, Jose Sa! Jesus Christ, what are you doing? Gets away with it. What's he doing? Coming out of his 18-yard box and tries to grab at the ball. I mean, eventually he has teammates in the way to help him out and get it out of danger, but they need to watch themselves. Really, Wolves, they're living dangerously. Still 28 minutes to go. I mean, the longer it stays at 2-0, I mean, who does it benefit more, really? Man United are creating a lot of big chances to where they could dead this game, but they aren't putting it to bed, and just makes you feel, Wolves do get one. You never know, they might find themselves well back into this game and trying to push for an equaliser, but they need to get the first one first. Here comes Pedro Neto to try and do that. Works it into the box, cuts it back, in this strike from distance from Tommy Doyle is swiped over the bar and behind for a goal kick. Another positive move for Wolves that comes to a pretty abrupt and disappointing end. And they're going to make another change. And Jean-Rick Bellegarde, who I'm sure he can't, no one will claim that he's had an incredible night up at centre forward for Wolves. He's been very minimally involved. He's going to make way and be replaced by Pablo Sarabia. So a change there from Wolves. Pablo Sarabia, yeah, 21. Just seeing the replay of that Jose Sa incident, my goodness me, what's he doing? Gets away with it somehow. And then there's an issue here. The Man United player down, it's Rasmus Hojlund holding his head, and that's not, Wolves fans not happy, but the referee has to stop the game if there's a head issue. And Rasmus Hojlund holding his head, but I think there's anything in that. It's really good from Craig Dawson. Good, strong defensive header. And as he's coming down, he does connect with Rasmus Hojlund, but it's not a foul. It is just a stoppage to check that Rasmus Hojlund was okay, but it will be a drop ball to Wolves. No doubts. Another bit of news, strange news. Jesse Lingard, used to play, of course, for Manchester United, is close to joining Seoul FC in South Korea. So a return to football for him. South Korea might be his destination, and joining FC Seoul in South Korea in the K-League. Who knows? Goodness me. That's definitely not a storyline I was expecting to hear on deadline day, but there you go. Deadline day always has a random trick to pull out of the bag to tell us. Goodness me. And it's coming up to the final hour and 20 minutes of deadline day, so there might be some late drama. So we'll keep you updated if anything happens of significance in the Premier League late in the window here this evening on transfer deadline day, while we're on air for this game. Still another 25 minutes of this one to go, plus the additional time, and Wolves have shown more in these last 10 minutes than they have in the whole of the other rest of the game. They've been a lot better, but again, still not been able to find the finish, find that goal that would get them back into the game. Here's Ryan Aït-Nouri, who has made an impact since coming onto the pitch, been much more of an attacking outlet down that left-hand side for them. Neto, switch ball, just a bit short. The challenge by Mario Lemina has Garnacho seeing it out for the throw into Manchester United. Molineux was challenged there, but United will benefit with the throw-in on the right-hand side. As that throw-in's taken, Hojlund, Fernandez. Now the space down the left-hand side, Rashford to have a run. Down the left, he's got Shaw alongside him. Not on the overlap this time, cuts it back to Fernandez, does Rashford. Switches it across, taken down by Dallo, who strikes from distance, but I mean, he should have made the pass instead of taking the strike because it went so far wide it was almost near the corner flag. That shot from Diogo Dallo. Goal kick to Wolves. Cunha under pressure. Doyle, nice move, finds space. And here comes Mario Lemina. Nice feinted ball, finds Neto, has to take it under his stride. Cuts back, strike, and a penalty to Wolves. I mean, the Neto was kind of collided when he's made the pass. And Jared Gillett, seeing that the Wolves attack comes to nothing, points to the spot. He had to kind of adjust last second, Pedro Neto, to kind of take the ball with him, and then he kind of stretches for it. Oh, what is that? I'd like to see the replay of that. So Neto takes it with his right, carries the ball into the box, and then Casemiro just kind of swipes the left boot out. Is that enough? Well, I don't think this is the correct decision. I'm not too sure about that one. I have to see the replay. VAR are going to check it. Referee or VAR this evening, Paul Tierney. I think, well, Paul Tierney refused to give a few penalties last night that some might have felt that Chelsea should have been given, but that is one I don't think Wolves should get. Chelsea in the replay of it. I mean, Casemiro makes barely any contact whatsoever. Ooh, that though might be the issue, because it looks like for the little contact that he does make, it seems to be like a swiping of his studs on the left ankle of Pedro Neto. Say it again. It's not much contact, but it's one of those. It's like a swipe with his studs from Casemiro. And remember, he's on a yellow card as well. This is one where I think it's close, but to me, it's very minimal contact. The decision was given on the field. Of course, VAR have to find a clear and obvious error for them to overturn the decision, or even to ask the referee to go to the monitor, which is Paul Tierney's job in the VAR booth, and we'll see what he will do. At the moment, it looks like they don't have enough evidence to overturn the decision and think the referee's got the correct decision, because they were checking for offside, and offside is being checked, and the decision stands. But now the home fans are shouting off, 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 because Casemiro's on a yellow card, and they feel that was a second yellow card worthy, but the referee's not given any thought to that really. But a penalty stands, so a chance for Wolves. I mean, it's a soft penalty, but maybe over the course of the season they felt they should have had a penalty at Old Trafford. It was a pretty awful decision from the VAR that night. The VAR has probably given them one in their favour tonight. Maybe over the season it balances itself out, and a chance for Wolves to get themselves back into the game. Onana with a chance to deny them. Steps up, scores, does Pablo Sarabia. And Wolves are back in it at Molineux. A decision that is very soft, given on the field. VAR didn't see enough to overturn the decision or even ask the referee to go to the monitor, and the decision stood, and Pablo Sarabia with his left boot straight down the middle, as confident as you like from Pablo Sarabia, on the comes off the bench and gives Wolves a lifeline. Wolves 1, Manchester United 2. And now the contest is surely back on at Molineux, and the momentum firmly now in Wolves' favour. Can they go one better and get the equaliser? But as I mentioned, You know, I talked about it. The many chances that Manchester United have had to dead this game, to put it to bed, to say we're getting the 3 points and that's it. The chances that they have had to score more than 2 goals, it's quite remarkable how they haven't found a third goal. They might find one here as the ball's blocked from Luke Shaw. Now the space down the right. Here's Neto. Oh, what's Neto doing there? He slipped, but he still kept the ball. And Neto charging his way through. Good pressure from Lamina. Seems to be a bit last ditch, but Casemiro intercepting, but the ball's poor. Dawson steps in. Neto now gives it to Ait-Nouri. Space down the left. The Wolves crowd in full cheer at the moment. Ball in behind. Here's Neto. Hits the side netting. That gets a massive round of applause from the home fans. Feel their side are in the ascendancy at the minute. And a chance of late drama. And a late twist. They're going to make a change here, Manchester United, to just help out with this. And Casemiro, the man who was on a yellow card since the 3rd minute of the game, gave away a penalty as well. Whether or not that was the right decision is another question. But he is on a yellow card, and I'm sure Erik ten Hag will not want to see him suspended if he does get a second yellow. The second, I think they're making a double substitution there, Manchester United, because they're just showing replays of Marcus Rashford. They are. So it's Casemiro and Rashford coming off. And they're going to be replaced by Scott McTominay and Antony. So some fresh legs for Manchester United to try and kind of carry them through in the final 17 minutes to make sure that they don't drop points from a very good position in a tough away stadium. But here they are in. Here's Antony, just stole away from it last second. Fernandes took a deflection and Sa had to make the good save. Here's Garnacho, pressure building. Molineux from distance, another deflection, carries it wide for a corner. Well, good response from Manchester United, making those changes and instantly getting their players involved. Nice ball by Fernandes. Antony blocked off, and then the rebound comes back to Fernandes. That takes a deflection, bobbling towards Jose Sa. He just has to scramble his way across and parry it wide, and then the follow-up. Molineux takes the strike, deflected corner to Manchester United. Goodness me. So a corner, right hand side. Fernandes with the delivery, right footed ball in, bouncing around, it's in! Somehow it's found its way in, and it's Scott McTominay. Talk about impact from the bench. Pablo Sarabia from the bench got Wolves back in it, but McTominay with about a minute or so on the pitch, and he's restored Manchester United's 2-goal lead. Scott McTominay from the corner, Fernandes with the delivery, and then the ball just bounces in the box, and McTominay just gets a clean connection with his head on it all the way through. He heads it into the ground, it bounces up past Jose Sa. Completely wrong, foots to the goalkeeper, and in the end that is pretty avoidable, really. And for all the pressure and the opportunities that Wolves have had, that is huge for Manchester United. What a huge response. Mentality indeed. And to get them restore that 2-goal lead. 3-1. And maybe Sir Alex Ferguson in the stands can breathe a bit more of a sigh of relief at this minute in time. Kind of relax a bit more than a few moments ago. And Scott McTominay, the impact man again. I mean, he's done it multiple times before. I mean, bring you back to the Sheffield United game at home. 1-0 down United late in the game, and McTominay pops up with 2 late goals to win it. I mean, talk about impact players stepping up when you need them the most. And off the bench, I mean, bit of a super sub there was Scott McTominay. Could be a huge moment, that there. for Manchester United. Wolves, I'm sure, will not give up yet, but I mean, it's quite ironic, really, that Manchester United have had so many chances to score a third goal when it was at 2-0. Wolves get a penalty, get one back, and then, probably with their first opportunity at scoring from a corner, they find the back of the net for 3-1. And they've totally deserved it. I mean, if they did drop points tonight, Manchester United, it would be probably an injustice, really, because they've deserved the 3 points tonight. Although Wolves haven't given up yet. Cunha, pressure, Nuri shakes off Garnacho, ball in. Oh, Varane got in the way of that one, and then Nuri couldn't control it, out for a goal kick. Wolves haven't given up hope yet, but I mean, maybe they. Who knows? Goodness me. I have to say, what a crazy midweek of Premier League football we've had. You look over the last 3 nights of Premier League football, only 3 teams have failed to score a goal, and 2 of them came in the same match, and that goalless draw between Fulham and Everton. But every other game has been full of goals. 2-1 Arsenal, drama later on. Luton 4-0 winners against Brighton. 3-2 between Palace and Sheffield United. Newcastle 3-1 winners at Villa. Man City 3-1 winners against Burnley. Spurs and Brentford, close 3-2 game in the end there. Liverpool 4-1 winners last night, and Manchester United leading 3-1 here at Molineux. Massively entertaining midweek action from the Premier League, and some big results in there to boot as well for a lot of big teams. I mean, all of the top 4, as it stands at the moment, all have won this midweek, which is huge. Villa, who were in the top 4 at the start of the week, of course, were the big losers of this midweek action. And we're not done yet. Still another 12 minutes or so to go, plus additional time here at Molineux. So who knows? At 3-1, I mean 4-1 would be game over, and they have a chance to get it, because that's a poor free kick to give away. The substitute there for Wolves, or is that actually Totti? Well, the free kick's been given against Wolves, and it's Alejandro Garnacho that wins it for them. Well, this would be, if Manchester United get this win, it will be their 4th consecutive win against Wolves since that defeat in January of 2022 at Old Trafford. And, of course, Wolves have failed to beat Manchester United on this ground in their last 4 Premier League meetings. This will be their 5th consecutive game without a win against United at home since that 2-1 win against them in April 2019. The free kick is over the bar quite convincingly there from Bruno Fernandes. It would be a big result for Manchester United and continue their very good start to 2024, an unbeaten start to 2024 for Manchester United. 2 wins in the FA Cup and a draw in the Premier League at home against Spurs. Now follow that up with a win here tonight. Pretty positive start to the new year for Erik ten Hag and Manchester United, after a pretty dismal end to 2023, considering being beaten by West Ham and Nottingham Forest on the road in the Premier League in their last 2 Premier League away games. I mean, the last Premier League away win came at Goodison Park on the 26th of November. They've lost 3 of their last 4 away from home, only picking up points at Anfield in that run, and only scored 1 goal prior to this game since that 3-0 win away at Everton in November. But they're looking much stronger and have played much better tonight in the way that they've approached the game, and Wolves have really just been no competition for them for a long period of time. I mean, even the penalty that Wolves got, that they've scored, a lot of arguments as to soft. I mean, I said it when it happened and the decision was given, it looked pretty soft of a penalty in the end. But other than that, Wolves, I mean, they've really struggled. Well, here comes Semedo, though. Nevertheless, they're still in this. Late on, Semedo. Shot deflected. Does it deflect? It actually doesn't deflect. It looked like it deflected from the way it went, but he completely miscued it. Goal kick. Pretty poor that in the end. And they're going to make another change here, Wolves. Maybe to spark a bit of life into them later on. I mean, need some end to the game if they're going to get something now. They're going to make a double change. And they're going to make two big changes. Nathan Fraser and João Gomez are going to be the substitutes for Wolves. They're going to be replacing Tommy Doyle and Totti. So Totti and Tommy Doyle coming off and being replaced by João Gomez and Nathan Fraser. So another double substitution from Wolves into the last 8 minutes plus additional time. Nathan Fraser, an interesting factor, 18 years of age, born in 2005 and of the Republic of Ireland. Here's Anthony, finds Shaw. Manu told to shoot. Ups against that. Fernandez ball in. McTominay was in there again. Cleared away. Now here's Garnacho on the right flank. Trying to work his way in the Wolves box, but run out of space, and Wolves could clear it away. Can Cunha get them forward? Here he is, Mateus Cunha. Has space to find Neto. Here is Pedro Neto on the right flank. Feeds it forward. Cunha continued his run. Looking to cut it back on the edge. Couldn't control it. By Mario Lemina, and Luke Shaw carries it away for United. Try and get them on the break. Get them forward. Get them away from defending. But Anthony gives up the possession. Now here's Lemina. Nuri. Nice ball in behind. Run continued by Semedo and gets a corner off Bruno Fernandes. Nelson Semedo. So another corner for Wolves. Another chance. Never know. A goal now. 3-2. Maybe there would be another twist in the tail, but they need to find that one. Corner whipped in. Headed away firmly by Varane that time. Lemina finds Sarabia. He can't deliver clearly, but it falls to Neto. Strikes. Deflection. Corner. Martinez with the block on the Neto shot that puts the ball wide for a Wolves corner. Again, pressure building. This will be a huge moment for both teams. How United defend this, and how Wolves try and rescue themselves from this position. Corner, pretty poorly brought in, but the clearance isn't firm, and it's in! Bundled over the line by the Wolves captain, Max Kilman. And maybe, just maybe, there is one last hope for Wolves. From the corner, looked to be a pretty poorly delivered corner. Not dealt with at the front post by Manchester United. They, flick it on instead of clearing it. Is it Bruno Fernandes at the front post? Just flicks it back into the danger zone. It's the first one there to keep it alive is Craig Dawson. And then Max Kilman to react from that. Bundles off two United players. And Dallo the definitive last touch, but it will be a Kilman goal as it was on target. Max Kilman somehow gets a Wolves goal. Poor from United defensively. Awful from that set piece. Should do so much better in the second phase. And Manchester United brought back to one. And maybe, just maybe, a last cling at hope for Wolves to maybe rescue a point from this one. Centre back to centre back in that kind of dramatic phase of play there. And Manchester United are going to make more changes. I think they were pre-planned before the goal. Although, here comes the big fridge. Harry Maguire is coming on. I mean, don't even. I need to see what what those changes are. I'll confirm those changes. Harry Maguire did come on for Lisandro Martinez, but I did see another change being made. I think Rasmus Hojlund was taken off, and Amari Forson came on for him. I'll confirm that for you in a moment. Wolves throw in on the left-hand side. 3.5 minutes plus additional time to go. And again, another game that will go to the death in the Premier League in this midweek. It's been an incredible display of Premier League action this midweek, and really Wolves should have been dead and buried in this game, probably at half time, never mind the second half, but somehow they've crawled their way back into it. Manchester United have failed to put them to bed on multiple occasions, even when McTominay has scored. Wolves have never given up. They got that goal bundled over the line by Max Kilman to get them back in it again, and maybe, just maybe, something laid on for them here. Here's João Gomez on the attack again. Wolves, ball whipped in, away by Varane, given away by United again. Here's Cunha trying to drive into the box, but cleared away by Shaw. Pressure building. It's all Wolves at the moment. Kilman finds Sarabia. Sarabia, left-footed switch ball, headed down in the box. Lamina falls to Neto. Neto with a cross. Lamina wide, but the flag went up against the Wolves player anyway, Mario Lamina. I mean, Darren Cahn's had a busy night calling offside. I think he's called all the offsides so far tonight, the assistant on that side. Yeah, Mario Lamina is offside, but it is off target nonetheless, so it doesn't matter either way. And Gary O'Neill jumping in anticipation there, expecting the net to bulge and for it to be 3-3, but not quite that time. Maguire with a header clear. Wolves with a second ball, flicked by Neto. Now Fraser. Back to Ait-Nouri. Down that left-hand side and run out of room. Did Ryan Ait-Nouri, but again the poor giveaway by McTominay. Here's Pedro Neto trying to work his magic. Finds Ait-Nouri with a loose ball. Edge of the box. Good challenge by Fernandes, and Garnacho looking to use his pace. United on the break. Wolves might be caught out defensively here. Garnacho finds Anthony. What a challenge. Oh, it's not a good challenge actually in the end. Thought it was a great challenge, but the referee didn't say it that way, and Matheus Cunha booked for that challenge on Anthony. Let's see it again. I thought it was a good challenge. Oh no, it's not. It's not a good challenge at all. Comes sliding in there, Matheus Cunha, right through the back of Anthony. So a free kick for United, yellow card for Matheus Cunha. So a free kick for United on the edge of the Wolves box. I have to say, credit to Wolves. I mean, we talk about, that mentality of being knocked down time and time again, and the ability to step up and continue to fight back. I mean, it's been incredible. I mean, Wolves can't say that they've been on par with United tonight, but I mean, in the second half they've improved massively. Still, United probably edging it slightly maybe, but again, many times as it said, you fail to put a team to bed, you could end up being punished yourself more often than not in the Premier League. You are, as the 90 minutes has surpassed, and there will be 9 added minutes. So this free kick is now huge. 9 added minutes. It gets a mixed reaction from around Molineux. Not a good reaction from the United bench, I'm sure. And Bruno Fernandes with a huge opportunity. Edge of the D. Fairly central. Wolves have a very tight wall there. About 6 or 7 players in that wall. As the whistle goes, Fernandes steps up, right-footed. Hits the wall right in front of him. Shaw, though, receives the rebound. Garnacho gets the ball from Shaw. Covered over at the corner flag. Sarabia battling, and the follow-up there from Semedo goes out of play for a throw-in. That was huge as well, that moment. If Man United had scored there, that would have been game over, and the 9 minutes would have been pretty flat. But With Wolves still hanging in there. You never know when Manchester United, well, they're not going to go for that approach of trying to find the fourth to dead the game, because they're going to bring off Alejandro Garnacho, and they're going to bring on Johnny Evans. So attacker for defender, or defender for attacker, whatever way you want to look at it. But there's an extra defender coming on for Manchester United to try and see out this tight game and get the 3 points on the road. And a hard fought match in the end, really, where it should have been a pretty easy victory in the basis of things for Manchester United. They've given away a poor free kick there. Jared Gillett blowing the whistle. Free kick on, just inside the Wolves half. Get Wolves going. 7 minutes to go of the 9 added. Very much enough time for Wolves to get an equaliser. Kilman. Lemina. Manchester United, I'm trying to figure out what kind of formation they're playing at the moment. They've certainly got a back five anyway. Shaw, not much convincing of headers. He follows up, does well the second time round and wins the ball. Now the space down the left. Here's Anthony, whose Wolves have committed bodies forward. Need to get them back quickly. Here's Anthony in the box. I mean, Shaw had made the overlap. And the block there from the Wolves player. Carries it behind for the goal, for the corner, to Manchester United from Anthony. Wanted to go for it himself. Ended up gets Manchester United the corner. Don't forget, more Premier League action to come on LFS this weekend. And we're back to action, and we're at Goodison Park at lunchtime on Saturday as Everton welcome Tottenham at lunchtime. Still another 6 minutes of this match week to go, and a chance for Manchester United laid on to just dead this game. But here's Luke Shaw, ball into the box. Oh, what a reaction from Jose Saz. McTominay looked to try and tiptoe it over the line. Great from Anthony to win it back from United there. For United, Maguire. Anthony, now Forson. Flick on, here's McTominay. Blocked by Craig Dawson. Another United corner. I mean, what is it about Scott McTominay? When Manchester United are on the verge of, at the death of games, he's always up there. Always in those goal scoring positions. I mean, is that intentional? Here's Bruno Fernandes for this corner from Manchester United on the right hand side. Ball swung in. Maguire was the closest, but Wolves get it clear. Although pretty half-hearted follow-up by Aït-Nouri, but he does well to win it back the second time. And now a bit of space for Wolves to break. Can they get it right? Here comes Mateus Cunha. He's got Neto running through. Here is Neto. Got options. Goes himself! Wrong foot's the keeper. And the Wolves comeback is complete. Manchester United failed to put them to bed. Failed to finish it off, and Wolves, from literally nowhere in this game, are back at 3-3. Pain in the eyes of Erik ten Hag. Joy on the faces of the Wolves fans. Rafael Varane shakes his head, and Pedro Neto soaks in the cheers from that crowd behind the goal. Jubilation from the Wolves fans. Aït-Nouri wins it back, and Wolves just break. Talk all night about how threatening Manchester United have been on counter-attacks, while Wolves have beaten them at their own game. So poor. No one anywhere near Pedro Neto. Lovely ball by Cunha. Neto just chops in on his left, and Rafael Varane, just half-hearted, throws a leg out. Actually goes through Rafael Varane's legs, and Andre Onana, all he can do is watch it go past him. Goodness me. What are Manchester United at this minute in time? From relative ease in the first half, talking about how this game should be well away from Wolves, how they should be nowhere in this game, and Manchester United have allowed them, just left a creak in the door, and Wolves have burst it back open and got back on level terms. Goodness me. What a way to end this midweek of Premier League football. Absolute cracking game at Molineux. And we still have another 3 minutes to go. Is there a winner on the cards for either team? Well, here come United. Here comes Molineux! The storyline's not over yet. 3-3 to 4-3. And Manchester United through Kobe Mainoo have deaded Molineux. What is going on? Kobe Mainoo, the young man, steps up in the big moment for Manchester United. And from one moment, Wolves celebrating that they have come back from 3-1 down. And in a matter of literally a minute, Manchester United go up the other end. And Kobe Mainoo steps up and scores the big goal. What's going on? 4-3. What is going on? 97th minute. Kobe Mainoo. What a finish. No chance for Jose Sa. What a cracking finish into the far right corner. Great from Kobe Mainoo. Technique absolutely wonderful. Goodness me. And he might be the storyline in the morning for Manchester United. Although Wolves are trying to rescue it again. But how many times can you come back in a game? I mean, Manchester United. What a game. 7-goal thriller indeed at the Molineux tonight. I mean, at half-time, 2-0 to Manchester United. If anybody would have said 4-3, would have laughed in their face. But that is Premier League football at its finest. You can never predict what's going to happen next. And in a matter of moments, Wolves on cloud 9, right back down to earth and down to reality again, as Manchester United possibly score a late winner, and could be another great storyline of late comebacks and late drama for this historic football club that have no shortage of late winning goals, and now they want to add to that to really add injury to insult, or insult to injury, sorry. And doesn't come to nothing as one last scramble for Wolves. Surely there's not another twist in it. And this is exactly what you want to see. This is perfect for the neutral. I mean, Wolves and Man United fans, I wouldn't want to test their nerves at this minute, but what a game. Unreal. And here they come again, Wolves. Is there one last opportunity? The referee's letting it run. One last chance. Bouncing in the box. Sarabia overhead it. That's it, surely. Too much on that one. And that is really a dismal way to end the match there. 100 minutes of pure, incredible Premier League football we have seen. Unbelievable. There's a few yellow cards coming. I have no idea who's getting yellow cards at this late stage. For whatever reason. Maybe kicking the ball away or whatever. Goal kick taken. Fired long. Referee still playing on. We had 9 added minutes. We've gone a minute and a half over that. So that's into the 101st minute. Obviously due to the fact that we had 2 goals in added time. But again, we still go. Maybe there is one last opportunity for Wolves to try and somehow again level this game. Sarabia, another poor pass given away. Anthony with a clearance. Wolves rescue it through Kilman and try and go again. Gomez. Referee doesn't want this game to stop, it seems. Nuri with a delivery. Good goalkeeping by Onana. And that is the final whistle. What an end to this game at Molineux. Unbelievable final twist in the tail. Just as we thought Wolves had wanted it, or got the equaliser at the death. From 3-1 down, back to 3-3. But it's Kobbie Mainoo. He will be the storyline from this one. 3-3, and in the 97th minute, Mainoo rescues the 3 points for Manchester United. He will be United's hero tonight. And they get their 5th away win of the season. They had to fight ever so hard for it in the second half when it looked so easy that it was almost a certainty at half time. But nothing in the Premier League is as easy as that. No matter who you're playing against, it's always a tight game. It's always a tough fight. And especially on the road, each and every team in this league will make it hard, no matter who you're playing. Wolves were pretty poor in the first half. They'd improved massively in the second half to even question at a chance of getting a point out of this game. And just when they thought they'd done it through Pedro Neto, United go up the other end, and Kobbie Mainoo wins it on the road for Manchester United. An incredible 7-goal thriller to wrap up another incredible midweek of Premier League football. More of the same, please. Final score from Molineux: Wolves 3, Manchester United 4.